Man is not just a physical body. Each person is a divine manifestation of God, and that divine potential is always waiting to be awakened within you. Babaji. I would like to begin this article with a question. Have you ever felt that, deep down, you are part of something greater, more beautiful, and beyond the comprehension of the mind? Perhaps you have sat still one afternoon, the sun creeping through the foliage, and that sense of serenity suddenly makes you wonder, is this the presence of God? Or perhaps, in a moment of suffering, you yearn for the light to overcome the darkness in your soul. Today, I would like to share with you a message from Babaji, the immortal master who is considered the embodiment of unconditional love and ultimate enlightenment. Babaji has taught us that activating high vibration frequencies is not a far-fetched miracle. It's within everyone's reach, as long as you're willing. Let me tell you the story of a truth seeker. He, tired of worldly life, finds Babaji on a sacred mountain. With tears in his eyes, he asked, "Master, how can I escape my suffering and become one with the energy of God?" Babaji looked at him, his eyes as deep as the ocean, and replied, "Look at your own heart. You don't need to look far for God, for He is your breath, the light in every single of your cells. As long as you tune into your vibrational frequency, you will recognize Him." What is vibration frequency and why is it important? According to spiritual scientists and philosophers, everything in the universe fluctuates at a certain frequency, from light to sound to humans. We, living beings, are also vibration systems. Every thought, emotion, and action we take carries a vibrational frequency. When we are immersed in negative emotions such as anger, anxiety, or jealousy, this frequency decreases, causing us to feel heavy and distant from peace. In contrast, when we live with gratitude, love, and forgiveness, the frequency of vibrations increases, bringing us closer to our divine nature. Interestingly, this frequency not only affects your body and mind, but also affects the people around you. When you are in a high-frequency state, you create a positive vortex, which entails the people around you also raising their vibration frequencies. So how do we tune in and activate the frequency of God's source vibrations within us? Babaji teaches that human vibration is the bridge between the physical world and the spiritual world. Keep that bridge strong and pure. God's vibrational frequency according to Babaji. In the philosophy that Babaji shared, the frequency of divine vibrations is not an abstract or confusing concept, but actually a way we can connect with the infinite origin of the universe. Babaji has always taught that each of us, deep in our souls, carries within us a pure, pristine frequency, the vibrational frequency of God. This frequency is not something that can be achieved from the outside, but is our natural, inherent nature. Similar to the sound of the strings in a guitar, this vibrational frequency exists inside each of us, waiting to be relaxed, connected, and emitted in tune with the universe. God's frequency, a spectrum of love vibrations. Babaji once said, "Each of us is part of a great source of energy. And so, our vibrational frequency is a reflection of God, the wordless sound of the universe." According to Babaji, the frequency of divine vibrations is a pure, undifferentiated energy that transcends all the barriers of space and time. It is the essence of unconditional love, the connection between all life, the energy that radiates from the awareness of the eternity of the universe. When a person awakens and gains a deep understanding of himself, this frequency will naturally increase and harmonize with the similar frequencies from the universe. Vibrational philosophy and ancient science. According to ancient texts such as the Vedas and Upanishads, the human body is made up of energy centers, chakras. Each chakra emits a distinct frequency, and when they work in harmony, we achieve a state of high vibration. But when one or more chakras become blocked, this frequency decreases, leading to instability in the body and mind. Babaji says, think of humans as a veena. When the strings are tuned properly, the sound will be melodious and harmonious. But if a string is slack or broken, the whole song will become chaotic. My life is the same. Tune your strings with mindfulness. How do I activate the vibrational frequency of God? According to Babaji, this activation journey simply begins with the realization that you are not an individual separate from the universe, but that you yourself are an inseparable part of an infinite flow. Awakening with a higher consciousness. Babaji teaches that the new day is an opportunity to start over, to live as a nobler version of yourself. Try starting each morning with a simple but powerful ritual. Take a deep breath and feel life. When you open your eyes, instead of checking your phone or thinking about work, take a few minutes to take a few deep breaths. Every breath in is the love of the universe. Every breath out is the letting go of worries. Make a resolution for the day. Whisper or write down something you want to spread that day, such as compassion, peace, or gratitude. Stillness and meditation. Babaji advises that the quickest and most effective way to connect with the frequency of divine vibrations is through meditation stillness. When you stop thinking, stop judging, and listen to the silent sound within, you will feel the pure vibration of the universe entering every cell of your body. Meditation with a sense of light. Babaji teaches that, when meditating, imagine the golden light flowing down from the top of your head, spreading throughout your body, to every cell, every breath. His Holiness said, light is a symbol of truth. When you immerse yourself in the light, you are immersing yourself in the source of the universe. I myself usually practice morning meditation, just 15 minutes a day. At first, my mind was often swept away by worries, but gradually, I felt a deep peace, as if I was surrounded by unconditional love. You can start by: sit still in a quiet place, close your eyes. Focus on your breath, feeling the fresh air coming in and out of your body. Imagine the golden light flowing down from space, permeating every part of your body, and then spreading around like the morning sun. Gratitude, the key to unlocking the high-energy door. Babaji always reminds, gratitude is the bridge between man and God. When you are grateful, you not only receive, but also spread that energy to everyone. Babaji teaches that, when you are grateful for all things and phenomena in your life, from small joys to challenges, you open your heart to the holiness of the universe. When you forgive others and for yourself, you release negative energy, making room for the vibration of God's pure love. One method that Babaji recommends is to keep a gratitude journal every day. I've been doing this for years, and miracles happen. No matter how bad that day was, when I put down my pen to record the little things I cherished, a cup of warm tea, the smile of a stranger, or simply my own existence, I find my heart lighter and my mind clearer. Sounds and mantras. Babaji explains that sound has a strong energy frequency. Each ancient mantra is a door that opens a connection to cosmic energy. His Holiness often mentions the mantra Om Namah Shivaya, one of the most powerful mantras to purify the mind and increase the frequency of vibrations. How to practice. Repeat the mantra over and over again, be it in your mind or out loud. Let that sound vibrate in your soul, like an echo from the universe itself. Pay attention to how your body and mind change after each practice. Noble lifestyle, frequency of love and forgiveness. Babaji once said, your way of life reflects the frequency of your vibrations. Choose what enriches the soul and let go of what is no longer at the service of your evolution. Babaji also emphasizes that the frequency of divine vibrations cannot be present in a soul that is still heavy with sorrow, anger, or fear. It is unconditional love and sincerity in all actions and words that will help you to be in tune with this holy energy. Once, Babaji told of a student who came to him with a broken heart. He carries deep anger at a friend who has betrayed him. Babaji said softly, "Anger does not hurt others, but it burns my own soul. Forgive not because others deserve it, but because you deserve peace." Forgiveness is the fastest way to raise your frequency. Remember, forgiveness does not mean forgetting the hurt, but freeing yourself from that burden. A simple exercise is to write down the names of people you feel uncomfortable with and say, "I forgive you. I liberate you. I wish you peace." Nutrition of the soul. Babaji once said, "What you put into your body and mind becomes your energy." This applies not only to physical food, but also to the information you absorb. Be careful what you read, hear, or watch every day. Instead of getting lost in negative social media, look for books, music, and conversations that help you grow mentally. A healthy lifestyle is: eat pure, choose natural, energy-rich foods such as fresh fruits and vegetables, and avoid foods that cause negative energy. Positive environment, spend time with inspiring people and spaces, away from negative conversations or environments. Acts of compassion, every day, do at least one good deed, no matter how small, like smiling, helping someone, or simply not judging. Connect with the natural frequencies of the universe. Babaji often emphasizes that nature is where cosmic frequencies are most apparent. I still remember the feeling of practicing meditation for the first time under an ancient tree, listening to the rustling of leaves, the singing of birds, and the gentle breeze passing through my skin. Try walking barefoot on grass or sand, feeling a connection to the earth. Spend at least 10 minutes a day outdoors, breathing in the fresh air. Touch the trees, rivers, and streams, or simply watch the sky and let your mind go quiet. Babaji says, "People are always busy looking for God in faraway places, without realizing that God is the breath of the wind and the light of the sun." A conversation with Babaji, motivational awakening. The story is told on a dawning morning in the Himalayas, where the fresh air is like a mirror that reflects the stillness of the soul. Babaji sits in the middle of a circle of truth seekers. One of them, with a bewildered look on his face, asked, "Master, why do you feel like you're always drowning in negative emotions, even though you've tried?" Babaji smiled, his eyes shining. "I tried to struggle with those feelings. But I forget that struggle only gives them strength. Listen to them, embrace them with compassion, and they will naturally dissipate like morning dew in the sun." Another person asked, "Teacher, how do you know that you have achieved a high vibration frequency?" Babaji replied, his voice as gentle as a stream flowing through a ravine. "You will know when you are no longer looking for outside affirmation. When you feel the pure joy of simple things, when your heart beats with unconditional gratitude, that's when you're living at the highest frequency, the frequency of God." Story from a searcher. Once, a man came to Babaji, his face full of suffering. He said, "Teacher, my life is full of failures and losses. I feel that I am inferior, unworthy to seek God." Babaji looked deeply into his eyes and said, "Even the smallest flame can dispel the densest darkness. You don't have to be perfect to get close to God, you just have to open your heart. God does not seek perfection, but sincerity." The man had changed. He began practicing gratitude, taking care of himself, and taking time to meditate every day. A year later, when he returned to see Babaji, he was no longer the same man he used to be. His eyes were shining, and his heart was full of peace. What few people know about Babaji. Babaji is a symbol of immortality and eternal wisdom. But few people know that he always lived a simple life, close to nature and people. He never claimed to be a great saint, but always said, "I'm just a reminder of what you already know." Once, while meditating in the Himalayas, a group of lost tourists came to him. Although they did not speak the same language, Babaji guided them back to safety with just gestures and eyes. When they returned to thank him, Babaji had disappeared, as if he had never been there. This story reminds us that enlightened souls don't need recognition. They only show up when necessary to lead us, then retreat so that we can find our own way. Presence, the door to the highest frequencies. Babaji tells a meaningful story. A student asked him, "Master, how can you find God?" Babaji smiled and replied, "Take a sip of water." The student was surprised, but complied. Babaji continued to ask, "What do you feel when you drink water?" "Cool and comfortable, sir." Babaji replied, "It was in that knowledge that I found God." Babaji's answer is not anything sublime, but a simple reminder: presence is key. When you are fully present, you are no longer dragged by the mind to the past or the future. You touch the divine frequency right in the vibrancy of the present. Babaji, the lighthouse of infinite love. Babaji doesn't just teach sublime words. He lives every moment as a testimony to the truths he preached. He does not need to convince us to believe in a particular doctrine, but to arouse in us an awareness that we are also the light. His Holiness once said, "You are no different from me, except that you forget your true nature." These words are like a powerful wave that awakens the hearts of those who are asleep in a daze. Imagine Babaji is sitting across from you. He didn't say much. His gaze alone is enough for you to realize that you are being seen not by outward appearance, but by the light of the soul deep within. In that moment, you understand that Babaji is not just looking at you. He is illuminating you to show you who you are in the most perfect and immortal form. Babaji's message, go home. Babaji often likens the human soul to a bird that has lost its nest. We wander in this world looking for joy, fame, and success, but always feel lacking something. He reminded that, "I've always been at home, but I've forgotten how to realize it. My home is not a distant place. Home is God's presence in my heart. How do I get home? It's a journey without a map, because all you need is to stop looking outside. Sit down, be quiet, and ask yourself, who am I besides these roles in life? What's left when I let go of everything I own and identify with? If I were God, how would I feel about life?" Babaji doesn't ask you to do anything beyond your ability. He just asks you to remember that you are full. Babaji flame in everyday life. For those who love Babaji, you don't have to go to faraway places to feel his presence. Every time you confront yourself in meditation, every time you choose to love instead of fear, every time you choose to forgive instead of resentment, is every time you invite Babaji into your heart. Practicing connection with Babaji. Simple prayer: before going to sleep, put your hand on your heart and say, "Babaji, lead me on the path of light. Remind me that you are a part of him and that you are a part of me." Visualize the light. In meditation, imagine a pure white light enveloping you. That light is Babaji's presence, always protecting and guiding you. Live with gratitude, Babaji does not need complicated rituals. He needs you to live with gratitude for this life itself, because it is the most sacred gift. Babaji and you, an immortal bond. Those who have ever loved Babaji carry an invisible connection to him. Even if you don't know him clearly, his presence is there, gentle and patient. Babaji does not judge you for your mistakes or weaknesses. He just looks at the great potential you carry within you and waits for the day when you see it for yourself. Babaji once said, "You don't have to climb high mountains to look for me. I am here, in every breath of my life, in every beat of my heart. Believe that you are never alone." Every time you feel lost, just close your eyes and call Babaji by name. Even if you don't hear the answer right away, trust that he has responded in the deepest and most silent way. Listening to the universe and connecting with God's frequency. When you begin to live in connection with God's vibrational frequency, you will not only see the world around you changing, but you yourself will also become more serene, clearer, and more energetic. Babaji emphasizes that it is this harmony with the frequency that is the key to opening the door to enlightenment, a completely free state of mind, no longer confined to desires and anxieties. When you live like God, you will find that there is no distinction between you and God. You are Him, He is you, and everything is just a manifestation of Him. That is the vibrational frequency of God that Babaji wants us to perceive and experience. When you feel the blend of love, clarity, and peace, you will know you are living in the frequency of God Himself. And then, you will also become a source of light for the people around you. Sanctify every action. Babaji emphasized that no action is small or trivial when taken with awareness. Even sweeping the house can become a sacred act. We often think that only great rituals or complex prayers bring us closer to God. But in reality, it is the little things that are everyday that are opportunities for us to live in holiness. How sanctification acts. Do it with love. When you cook, think of yourself nourishing your body, a temple of the soul. Do it with gratitude. When you clean, thank your home for sheltering you. Be mindful of everything, whether it's writing emails, driving, or chatting, do it with attention and completeness. Babaji often tells a story that there was one of his students who was always depressed because he had to work in the fields. One day, Babaji visits him and asks him to plow a field with all his concentration and love. As a result, not only the harvest is bountiful, but the student himself also finds joy in his daily work. Allow me to share a personal experience. A few years ago, I used to live in a constant busyness, chasing success and recognition from others. In that race, I didn't realize that I was losing connection with myself. One day, I had a big event, a breakdown that made me feel like the whole world was collapsing. That's when I turned to silence. I started practicing meditation, reading ancient texts such as the Bhagavad Gita, the Yoga Sutra, and learning about Babaji's lessons. His teachings are like guiding light, taking me step by step out of the darkness of negativity and raising the frequency of my vibrations. Babaji once said, "God is not far away from you. He is not in the future or in some distant place. You are present right now, in my own breath." Through Babaji's teachings and practices, we learn the frequency of your vibrations is not something distant, it lies in your own consciousness and daily actions. When you connect with the inner light, practice gratitude, and turn to the great, you are in tune with God's frequency. Practice doesn't have to be perfect, it just needs to be sincere. When we activate the divine frequency, our lives not only change, but also spread the change to those around us. Remember that every action, every thought, every emotion you have is a wave of energy that affects the entire universe. Babaji sends you this message. Live as a torch, illuminating yourself and the world. What do you think of this journey? Have you found something that touches your heart? Please share your experience below. I'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to spread these wonders to others. See you in the next messages. Namaste.